Hello everyone, and thank you for coming or for coming back. Today I am very excited to show you how to make apple cider donuts. It is now late fall or maybe even early winter, at least in the temperatures. It is getting ready to snow here, so I really like making something like this with these lovely fall and winter flavors like apple cider. These donuts are super tasty and they've got all those nice warm flavors that just make you super excited for winter. So all the ingredients and the measurements are listed down below and we can start baking. So we are going to start with a large bowl into which we are going to add our flour, brown sugar, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and our spices. Now here I have cinnamon, ginger, and a little bit of clove. I'm gonna leave the cloves out of the recipe because I think they were just a little too overpowering. I added the tiniest little pinch, but it was still too much and it just sort of tilted my mixture from tasting like apple cider to tasting like gingerbread, so I'm gonna say go ahead and leave that out, okay? Just to let you know. But we're gonna go ahead and whisk those all together. And then we are going to set them aside and we are going to move on to our apple cider. Now I am using some lovely local apple cider here. You do want to make sure that you get something that is nice and dark and full of flavor because that's really going to help out our donuts. But to help out even more, we are going to reduce it so that we concentrate those flavors. So you're going to go ahead and pour that into a pot and you're going to boil it until it is about a third of the original volume. So just go ahead, put it on to simmer and leave it to simmer away until it looks like it's about a third of the original amount of liquid. Then we're going to let it cool before we move on. Now once our cider is cooled, we can go ahead and mix together our liquids, which is our 2 eggs that you're just going to go ahead and give a quick little beat before adding your butter and your apple cider. Now we are going to go ahead and add all of our wet ingredients straight into our dry ingredients and we are going to give it a mix. So I started out by using a spatula, but you can use a spoon or your hands right from the get-go and you're just going to mix it until it is stiff enough that you need to switch over to your hands anyways. Then I went ahead and kneaded this sort of really gently in the bowl for a little bit before turning it out and bringing it all together. Now these are cake donuts, not yeast donuts, because we use baking powder as our raising agent, so we do not need these to rise at all. We're going ahead and cut them out right away into our donut shapes. Now I just went ahead and used a nice big circle cutter as well as the end of a piping tip to get my donut shape, but if you have a donut cutter then all the better. Go ahead and use that and you're just going to cut out your desired donut size. Once you have your donuts all cut out, you can go ahead and transfer them to a parchment-lined baking sheet so that they are all ready when we go to fry them. Now for frying, you have 2 options. The first is to take a nice heavy bottomed saucepot. The first option is to take a nice heavy bottomed pot and you're going to go ahead and fill that about 3/4 full with some vegetable oil, and then you're going to heat that to 350 degrees using a candy thermometer or an oil thermometer, and you're going to bring it up to temperature and then you're going to use that to fry your donuts. The other option is to set up your deep fryer. So once we are all ready to fry, we're going to make sure our oil is ready. We're going to make sure we have our donuts all ready. We're going to make sure we have somewhere to drain our donuts. I like to just have a little wire cooling rack that I sort of let them drip dry on. And the last thing we're going to do is make sure that we have our cinnamon sugar ready. So for this, I didn't even measure, but what you're going to do is just mix together some sugar and some cinnamon, and you're just going to have it at the ready beside the fryer that we can roll our donuts in once they come out of the oil, because we want to roll them while they're still nice and warm so that the cinnamon sugar mixture will stick to the donuts. So working with 2 or 3 donuts at a time, you're going to go ahead and drop them in your fryer. Now, because these are cake donuts and not yeasted donuts, they do not have a lot of air in them, so they will not float right away. Do not be worried when they sink to the bottom of your fryer. They should float back up to the top in just a few seconds. All you're going to do is cook them on each side for 60 to 90 seconds. You're looking for a really nice deep brown color. So you're going to cook them on one side, flip them over, continue cooking, and then you can pull them out onto a wire rack to drain. After they've drained and cooled on their rack for about a minute until you're able to touch them with your hands without burning yourself, you're going to go ahead and pick them up and toss them in your cinnamon sugar mixture to coat. Then just go ahead and repeat this with all your donuts and you are done. These donuts are so quick and so easy because they are cake donuts, so they don't need any rising time like yeasted donuts do. As well, they are so beautiful with that nice cinnamon sugar and the deep brown color. So, I hope you make these, I hope you enjoy, and I will see you next time.